Does TimeSplitters Rewind live up to the hype? It's been about 12 years in development, roughly, and it finally dropped last weekend. It's been something else to finally play through it. For a while, I never thought this day would come. And you know what? It does. It's good. It's really good. It's what I've been waiting for. It really feels like a much-needed win for the TimeSplitters fan base. And I'm so glad I was proven wrong earlier this year when I was all doom and gloom about the project never finishing and us never getting another game. Because TimeSplitters is back. And not just through a fan sequel like Time Shifters. This is a true and blue TimeSplitters game. This alleviates a lot of my concerns when I was testing in 2022, and it brings a lot more to the table that I didn't expect. I'll break it down bit by bit and explain why I think it turned out to be a true gem. Even if it's an early access, even if there's room for improvement, I think that the team did something truly spectacular here.
Blast off! Killing spree!
TimeSplitters Rewind can be best described as a greatest hit of the series. It takes the most cues from Future Perfect, the third game in the series, though it definitely draws from the first two as well. It has all the story content of the first game, along with a bunch of challenges and arcade league matches from the other games as well, restructured and rearranged to have more of a fitting rework. That way you aren't just getting it one game at a time. They're mixed up, so you're getting matches from like 2 and Future Perfect and 1, but you're also getting unique matchups created by the devs that are pretty fun. The balance is structured mostly around Future Perfects, so weapons reload. It isn't just a matter of lowering your gun and putting it back up, but the reload animations are nice. The guns look good, they're cartoony enough to fit with the aesthetics of the TimeSplitters games. It feels like what TimeSplitters Next should have been. I mean, TimeSplitters Next looked great, and I think that TimeSplitters absolutely could have worked as a third-person shooter, but I think the microtransactions and other stuff of Next would have ruined it. But in any case, we're not talking about Next, we're talking about Rewind. And the gun balance is good. My concerns from the 2022 playtest have been alleviated.
Wasted! Killing spree! Body bag! Killing spree!
For one, the reloads are not as lengthy and as troublesome as I had worried about. The animations look good, and most importantly, there is a competitive edge to them. You can cancel them about midway through, like the rest of the animation is just cosmetic. And I would say you're very much encouraged to when speedrunning through levels. It does add a bit of urgency to it, the idea your character is just furiously jamming the magazine in and loading shots in to get some rounds off. And if you have a spare moment, you can finish the animation, and it looks nice. The guns deal a good amount of damage. It doesn't feel like the bullet sponginess of 2022 returned. So, enemies go down pretty well. You have some health, especially in story mode, like in easy and such, but you aren't tanking bullets left and right, and my issues with enemies just absorbing a ton of bullets before going down and all the guns feeling samey have not returned. In fact, I'd say some of the guns are even better than I remember. In particular, the equivalent of the sci-fi handgun from TimeSplitters 2 got a huge buff. It's viable now, it's fun to use. Which is really nice because I never liked that version, and every mod I did, I found a way to change it somehow, just because of how little I liked it. There are hit marker sounds that play when you land hits on an enemy, but they fit with the overall sound design, and they're pretty satisfying and chunky overall.
Wasted! Body bag!
The challenges and story have been tweaked tweaked a bit to reflect the fact that you're not reloading in like half a second. But you still feel like you're playing the equivalent of the original, just in this slightly revamped version. It captures the magic of the TimeSplitters games, while doing its own thing. I'd say this is practically the definitive version of the first TimeSplitters. As good as that game was, it was kind of rushed for the PS2 release. This is more of what if TimeSplitters 1 was made in the style of Future Perfect, and it pulls that off, which I did not expect. I was convinced that that was going to be a disaster, and it isn't, so hats off to the team for pulling that off. I am glad to be proven wrong once again. I should be less doom and gloom. I think too much bad news about the TimeSplitters games really got to me. But no more cynicism. This is awesome. All the characters from TimeSplitters 1 return, as well as a bunch of characters from 2 and Future Perfect. There are 96 in total, and overall they're pretty unique and diverse. Most of the characters from TimeSplitters 1 return, I should say. There are some that are missing, as far as I can tell, but overall most of your bases are covered. Only some of the characters have their own animations for being selected, but I'm just glad to have them, and they look great. They stand out. There are some lighting issues in some levels like Chinese, where it's tough to see the enemies in the garden, but those are few and far between. They're the exception, not the rule.
Go on, tell me what you're wearing. Yes, Commander. Orders received.
There's no map maker, I should mention that. There's no split screen either. There's references to map maker content in the files, so I'd imagine it's being worked on. And to be fair, that's not an easy thing to pull off. I'm glad that they're working on it. I don't know how long it would take them to finish it, but best of luck with that. Same with other additions. I don't know about split screen if that's going to happen. Online play does work, though. I've seen matches of it, and it looks fun. I'm burnt out on PvP, as I've said, but I'm glad people can enjoy that. It's important. The community aspects of TimeSplitters are important, and that includes being able to play with friends. And since this is strictly a PC game, split screen isn't easy to pull off. So I'm just glad that online play properly exists, as do the bots. The bots are competent, fun to play against. The announcer's a lot of fun. It's Cortez again, but with even more lines. The death animations are turned as well, though it's a mix of death animations and ragdolls, where they'll play an animation and then ragdoll to the ground. Or if they're blown up with an explosion, they'll be blasted around the level, colliding with stuff. It's good, and it takes advantage of the Unreal Engine's strengths. This is Unreal Engine 4, not 5, so the game is pretty well optimized. I had to lower a few settings to make sure it ran smoothly, but overall the game looks great, plays great, even on some lower texture settings. Even on medium textures, low effects, it looks fantastic. It's got that art style that is optimized and future-proofed. It isn't trying to be overly realistic. So, like, the M16 is still kind of exaggerated with the way it's designed, but you can still recognize it for what it is. I will say, I like the weapon selection. I like how there are certain guns that are used in levels that wouldn't normally appear, or weapons that are consolidated. So like the Colt pistol of TimeSplitters 1. The Garrett revolver from TimeSplitters 2 appears in its place in Tomb. And as far as I can tell, it's just going to take its place entirely within the game, which makes sense. They're functionally the same weapon, no need to reinvent the wheel. The double-barreled shotgun is basically the same for both games, so there's just one double-barrel shotgun here. I don't know if the full-length shotgun from Future Perfect will ever appear, but this does a pretty good job of filling its void. It's got good range, good damage, that's a lot of fun to use. And it's satisfying as well. Overall, the weapon selection's good. The guns play well, feel good, sound good. Everything is just a masterclass of design and a lot of love from the creators. Future Perfect fans might not have as much here, but they still get good representation. Soviet rifle returns, some of the island soldiers from Scotland the Brave return, and more. Plus you got Cortez, and what's not to love about him? As for other things I've noticed, the levels sometimes have unique design changes, sometimes carrying over from later additions to the franchise and sometimes being the creations of the developers. Training Ground now has 2 paths for crossing between the bases instead of the single one in 2 and Future Perfect. Chinese has the Future Perfect entrance from the basement to the side area. Only in arcade though. Story mode that doesn't exist. That way you can have the proper challenge of navigating through the restaurant. And there are some more balance changes and such so that levels play better. This includes descriptions of the level written in universe, which not only offers some background on them, but also kind of give you an idea of what sort of arena you're getting into. That way you can tell if it's a close quarter one, long range one. Even Siberia returns. Not the Future Perfect one, the one from 2 that was only available in Arcade League or mods. Which, I mean, I'm shocked content would show up at all, but I mean, it makes sense at the end of the day. It does show up in challenges and Arcade League matches. Might as well put it to use as an arcade level. The gallery entries also return, and this includes entries for the TimeSplitters 1 characters who never had them, which includes some fun lore additions and things of that sort. I never made the connection that the Lady Janes of 1 and 2 would be the same person, but they're around the same time frame in hindsight, so it makes sense. The way unlocks are handled is also pretty unique, because in order to unlock characters, for story mode you just need to beat the easy version of the level. Normal and hard are just for bragging rights and for the tougher experience. For Arcade League and challenges, you have to complete the entire section of the challenge, or the Arcade League. So like if there are 3 challenges in a section, you need to beat all 3 to unlock a character. And this can be pretty straightforward. It can be pretty difficult, but it doesn't matter if you get a bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. Anything beyond completion is just for bragging rights. There are a few matches where you can just beat it to unlock a character instead of beating an entire section, like with TimeSplitters Underground and Cortez Can't Jump. But overall, I like the way it's structured. The extra medals and trophies are just for bragging rights. This is a good way to get new players used to it, because, let's face it, the TimeSplitters games are hard. And this one is hard if you are pushing for completion. It will not pull any punches. Like, Flock Around the Dock, the first arcade match you'll have, is pretty easy if you're just going for bronze. If you're going for gold or platinum, it's going to be tough. Like, if you just want basic completion stuff, then yeah, you can get that with enough time and patience. But if you want everything, this game is going to push you. And I think that's in the spirit of TimeSplitters. That's how things should be handled. You get a good amount of stuff already unlocked to begin with. You get all modes, some characters, all guns, and a couple of the story levels. But you still have to push through them to unlock more Arcade League matches, more challenges, and more story levels. It's pretty well balanced. I didn't really have issues to note about, except for the monkey shooting ones. Like where you're shooting the clay monkeys at the docks, or Mexican Mission. Just turn on auto-aim for those. It'll save you a headache. Trying to hit them with a fixed crosshair without auto-aim is a nightmare. Any other critiques I have would probably just be that stuff's missing, but I expected that. That isn't a shock. I knew getting into it that this would be early access. It'll take some time for them to fix things, update things, improve things, but right now, what they have is excellent. TimeSplitters Rewind is absolutely worth the wait. This delivered on everything we've been waiting for. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. I am so glad that TimeSplitters is back. And once again, huge shout out to the Rewind team. You guys went out of your way. You persevered through 12 years of crap, and you brought us this for no pay, and I can't believe it. Hats off to you guys. You guys need a breather, and I'm happy to look forward to any other updates, but, I mean, this release is already a win in of itself. Happy Thanksgiving, and take care.